Hello and welcome to the Hypnosis Academy. I hope you're all well. Today I'm talking about the magic bullet. I'll explain all about it on the other side. I'm going to use weight loss as an example, a metaphor that we can use to relate to what this magic bullet is. But it can be applied to anything. What is the magic bullet? Well, the magic bullet is looking for the wonderful miracle cure. The miracle cure. The miracle tablet that allows me to lose weight naturally and beautifully. The miracle cream that gets rid of cellulite. The miracle massage that helps me to lose 3 stones. Yeah. The miracle body wrap that when you come out you've lost 2 dress sizes. This is the magic bullet. Okay. Is there anything wrong with the magic bullet? Yes, there is. It isn't that there's anything wrong with the process. That's super. If you want to drop down 2 dress sizes and you go and wrap yourself in clay with cellophane and you lose 2 dress sizes, fantastic. Fantastic. But that's external. That's what we would call superficial change. So you want to lose weight. Can you remember in the 70s? Was it the 70s or the 80s? They started giving housewives who wanted to lose weight amphetamine. So they would just give them a ton of speed. And the women would get all of the housework done in the morning in 2 hours. And then they would go and do something else and maybe go around to the neighbours and do their housework too. And then they wouldn't stop talking. So, and that was very bad, by the way. The problem with the magic bullet is that it deals only with the manifesting problem. Right? So remember, we've always got 2 things, and this is what allopathic medicine, where it falls down dreadfully, is this. We have manifesting problem, root cause of problem. Yeah. So what does the magic bullet do? Well, the magic bullet works on the manifesting problem. So you want to lose weight, so you start taking some tablets, okay? Manifesting problem. The weight is the manifesting problem. Okay, just as illness is a manifesting problem. But really, it's rather like trying to paper the hallway through the letterbox. You're on the wrong side of the door. Now, the only people who can paper the hallway through the letterbox are gynecologists. However, that's for another video. You're on the wrong side of the door if you're trying to lose weight by taking a substance, by doing something. Right? That's looking for the magic bullet. We've got this other issue, which is the reason, the root cause. If you can sort that out, then the manifesting problem stops manifesting. However, we've been given a society which is all about the magic bullet. Everything is the magic bullet. You've got a problem, don't worry, just take this, do that, and it'll all go away. But of course, what it does, it just covers up the problem. Right? So imagine, I've heard these stories, somebody's overweight, and so they go and they have tons of liposuction. Yeah. I remember, I think it was Jamie Lee Curtis for one of the films that she starred in. She had full body liposuction. Right? She looked marvellous. She looked lovely. However, what happens with liposuction is that when you then start to put on weight, you don't put weight on where you used to keep weight because those fat cells have disappeared. And so you start putting weight on in really unusual places. The body's got to store the fat somewhere. So suddenly you start getting bumps in the most weird places because you don't have it where you would normally have it. And I remember Jamie Lee Curtis saying it was the worst thing that she'd ever done, because then every time she put weight on, she started looking like a monster. So the magic bullet isn't the answer, because as soon as you stop taking the magic bullet, what happens? So you go and you get your body wrap with clay and then cellophane, and you sit there for 4 hours, and you lose two dress sizes, and then 1 week later you've got your two dress sizes back. That doesn't fix anything. It's a temporary fix. You start taking tablets. Now I'm going to give you, I did this. Right, listen to this. I was on the sick from work because I had a boss that was a bully. Okay, so I just couldn't stand it any longer, and I went on the sick. I had just moved back from Mexico, and everything in my life had changed around. I was living in a little council house, and I'd just come from jetting around the world and everything. Everything that I had in my life, I kind of lost. And what did I do? Well, I started to eat, and I started to overeat because I had nothing else to do. I was on the sick. And because I was putting on weight, I said, oh, well, what I'll do is I'll look for a magic bullet. And so I found these very expensive tablets, which were from like sea shells or something like that. And so I would take the tablets. You have to take them before you eat. I would take the tablets, and then I would eat like a pig. And what happened was, I didn't lose any weight, by the way. The tablets did not work, because most of them don't work, if not all of them. However, what I didn't sort out was the fact that I was in a terrible place in my life. When people have problems with weight, it's because they're not in a good place in their life. When you're in a great place in your life, you can manage most things. Food is not important when you're in a good place. Food is beautiful, but it does a job. Food becomes important when you're in a bad place, when you find yourself in an emotionally unstable place. And what do? You give yourself some comfort by shoving stuff in your face. And then what do? Quite often, because you're denying what you're going through, you're denying your unhappiness. Basically, that's what it is. What you then do is you start looking for reasons why. Excuses. And those excuses come, you can find them anywhere. The medical world will give you all the excuses. It's hormonal. Oh, she's got a terrible problem with the hormones. Oh, she just has to look at food and she puts weight on. Do you know how many times I've heard that in my life? She just has to look at food and she puts weight on. Do you really think that's... But that is... People take that and go, yeah, I know. She's big boned. Yeah, I mean, all right, that's we joke about that. But people are very happy to use these issues, yeah, these excuses as a way of just saying it's not my fault. However, and I'll use an example which is a bit strong, but it's worthwhile keeping in mind. It's one that I use for me, which is this. I remember seeing many hours. It was called The World at War when I was a kid. Very depressing. And I would watch all of the prisoners of war coming out and standing in a row. Every single one of them was skin and bone. I didn't see one prisoner of war that was fat. Okay? Didn't matter. Hormonal levels, big boned, didn't matter. They were all skin and bone. So weight has to do with how much food you ingest. That's it. Weight has got to do with how much food you ingest. There is no other reason. I'm not talking about people who retain water because they've got the organs aren't functioning. Okay? I'm talking about people who eat too much. It's the relationship is with what you put in your mouth, okay, to what your body stores. Remember the system, it's very simple. The body says, I burn 2,000 calories a day. Oh, you're eating 2,400, then I shall store the rest for later. That's it. Or Oh, I need 2,000. You're only eating 1,500. Well, I'll have to get the stores out and I'll have to burn them. It's really simple, but it's not that simple. The mechanics of it's simple. The difficult thing is when you're overeating is understanding why you're overeating. It has nothing to do with anything else except your level of happiness. Truly, your level of happiness. Right? If you're going through a bad time, if you're in a marriage that's not working, if you're in a job that's dreadful, if you've got troubles at home, very often you'll turn to food. It's just a natural thing. The worst thing that you can do is to try and wrestle the food element whilst you're going through very, very big, heavy stuff. The best way to deal with it is to get yourself emotionally stable again. Get some therapy that is designed around getting you emotionally stable. When you are emotionally stable, you're emotionally strong and you can sort your food out. I would do a guarantee that anybody who's overweight, if I were to take their pulse, their emotional pulse, they would be unbalanced. They would be unhappy. I know that because I've done it for 15 years and it's always the case. And I know that when I overeat, it's always because I've got high levels of stress. Something's happening and I'm not happy. Yeah, that's when I see it. And when I control everything and I've got everything under control, it's because I'm under control. I'm happy. I'm balanced. You can be too. You have to sort out your emotional body, not the physical. The physical will sort itself out if you sort out the emotional. But if you just try to keep taking the magic bullet, you're just going to give yourself disappointment after disappointment, and excuse after excuse. It's all about taking responsibility for you and for your happiness. Truly, your happiness. So work on getting happy. And I'm not talking about happiness, the temporary happiness of, oh, this has just happened to me, I'm really happy. No, I'm talking about the intrinsic happiness. And when you wake up, you're excited about living. Yeah? That's the one that you want to get to. And it's possible. It's achievable for everyone. Okay, so I'll leave that with you. So avoid the magic bullet and let's get ourselves emotionally in line and sorted. Okay, I love you all. Take care.